So we've just come out of full council. We've been in there for nearly 3 hours, and it was a very interesting evening where we saw the Conservatives try and avoid talking about their U-turn on the Assembly rooms at all costs. Clearly they didn't want to engage in a discussion about the fact that they've had to scrap their plans to refurbish the Assembly rooms because they're completely unworkable and unviable. We saw the Deputy Leader of the Council get very angry at a couple of moments when talking to members of other political parties, particularly talking to one of his former group members who's joined another political party. I think what's really key, though, is that we've seen this coalition between the Conservatives, the Liberal Democrats and the Brexit Party, which has been in place since 2018, this evening really start to crumble. One of the foundations of that agreement, that coalition, was that the Conservatives would move to a new form of governance for the council, to a committee system instead of having a cabinet system. And tonight, again, the Conservatives U-turned on that and voted to not proceed with a committee system, which it seems goes against the agreement they had with both the Brexit Party and the Liberal Democrats, who both this evening produced the documents that they have signed by the Conservative Party, which were essentially their coalition agreements, where they said they would deliver this in return for support from those parties. So really, really interesting. So the Conservatives, who do not have majority control of the council, they rely on the support of other parties to keep them in power. Now they're being threatened with the Brexit Party and the Liberal Democrats voting against their budget, so they may not be able to pass their budget. So it was, really very interesting to be in the chamber this evening. And then finally, we had we get on to the real business of the evening. We're talking about the climate crisis and the climate emergency, and we had a motion put forward by the Liberal Democrats to kind of get some progress on where we're at in terms of setting targets and getting a working group and putting policies in place around the climate. And what do the Conservatives do? They try and water it down. They take all of the specifics out of it and they try and water it down, which basically means they're not committed to doing anything. Luckily, because the Liberal Democrats and Labour grouped together, the Brexit Party that by this point had left the chamber, they weren't interested in talking about climate or any of the other serious business of the evening. They'd walked out of the meeting. But Labour and the Liberal Democrats managed to stop the Tories changing that motion. So it does stand. So we've got some concrete action in place on climate, which they will have to go through with in the next couple of months. So that was a really positive thing coming out of the meeting. But watch this space. The coalition of Derby City Council, the Brexit Party, Liberal Democrat Conservative coalition looks very, very rocky. And the Conservatives this week have U-turned on two of their major manifesto pledges. The first one being that they would refurbish the Assembly rooms, and the second one that they would change the governance system of the council. So a big week here in Derby.